Loop 11. My treat. All, all. My voice trembled as soon as the pain started. And enough already. It hurts. This isn't all of it, Paul said in a monotone. I glanced at his face above me with fearful eyes. But, uh, ouch. As soon as he started to move, I cried out, I can't take it anymore. What? You're so big but a coward? Even though he said that, he looked like he was enjoying what he was doing. Do you need gel? I'm a little trembling. Well, yes, please. Why is it so tight? Paul reached out to pick up the tube of gel and squeezed it in his hand before smearing gel with a muscle relaxant to relieve pain on my right cuff, then squeezing and massaging while holding down my ankles to make the lines stretched out. I shouted in pain again as Paul did that. That's normal. My dad is like this as well. Yes, now I am in pain from the cramping in my right cuff, which has never happened in the past loops. Maybe it's because I was walking too fast during my shift as I want to clear the case quickly so that I don't have to waste time sending a shift to sing in order to hurry up to pick Saul up back to the condo. My calves started to twitch since I was driving, but I only got cramps now. How old is this? I'm just 20 something. 29, not 20 something. Doll held me cruelly, stretching my calves again until I almost flopped in bed. Doll! I called his name in a voice begging for mercy. It should be fine now. Doll let go of my legs and got out of bed. His face looked normal, but I could see the look of satisfaction. My boyfriend. Have I ever done something to make my boyfriend feel angry? To summarize, tonight we'll follow the plans we discussed, right? So that I can call Mai. I nodded. Yes, just like we discussed. Heart, we might not be able to deal with it now, but we will definitely have to bring Mai away from Heart. Call No Mai now and we will go pick her up and have some meals, and the three of us will stay together until the end of that time. Okay. Tal immediately picked up his phone to call Mai. I lay staring at Tal with a serious expression on his face. He also doesn't want to get through this night with someone getting hurt again. Thank you for whatever is holy that made this happen and gave him a chance to save me. I will ask Tal to take me to meet you one more time. That place would be a perfect place to make a serious proposal. How are we going to dress? A normal suit or a white tuxedo? No one would ever wear a fluffier wedding dress, but if he agrees, it will be so cute. Or should we dress up in Thai style? The Ratchapatan costume doesn't seem bad. Then Pitin and I will go pick you up. Okay, see you. Seeing Tall hung up, I hurriedly pulled myself out of my imagination. Mai is at home. I'll drive. I began to fear death. I'll drive for you. Just tell me the way. Saul went to grab my car keys that were placed on the table and put it in his pocket, turned to look at me calmly, and raised his eyebrows a little as to show that you dare. Can you walk? Shall we? The bad thing about having a boyfriend is harshness. Nong Tall is cute, but only sometimes. I moved my ankles to stretch. Tall might not want me to drive as a result of this. Fine. Do as Do it as you please. I agree with everything. Tol and I went to pick up Nong Mai at her house in the village, close to Tol's house. Looking at the appearance of her house, she was a wealthy person. There was no need for her to choose someone for money. Before, I used to feel negative about her, but now it's changing as she is no longer my competitor. She is just a poor girl who can't push the psychopath out of her life. I decided to sit at the back so that Mai could sit next to Tall for her convenience. Hello, doctor. She turned around to why. I saw she looked at me strangely like I'm a freak. It made me realize I had announced that I was going to flirt with Mai in front of Tall, which happened before I went to sleep at Tall's house. She must have thought that I was a bad guy. Mai turned to ask Tall, where are we going to eat? Ask that person. Tall said while shifting gears to go. Mai turned back to look at me. Eat the grilled buffet at the department store, then watch a movie. I said with a smile. This is my plan, to have people in the incidents of life and death clustered together in a safe place and stay there until the time has passed. By the time the movie starts around 8 p.m. and will be over by 10 p.m., everyone will be safe together with the three of us. Mm. Maya looked hesitant. She's a pretty girl. Maybe she doesn't like buffets that much. Let's go. Saul helped me. Titin will pay for everything. Wait, what? We didn't discuss that I'd be the one paying, but being the oldest and having a job, I gritted my teeth and said, yes, it's my treat. Treat. I secretly saw a smile on the corner of Tall's mouth. He purposely teased me. I know Tall is a devil, but the devil's horn just came out after dating. On what occasion? Mai asked me with a puzzled expression. I just noticed that there was a bruise on her left cheek, even though she tried to cover it up with foundation. Due to. What's it? It's near my birthday. Actually, my birthday is 6 months away, but whatever. I saw Tall raising his eyebrows a bit, as if he was asking if it was true. You don't have to be confused. I just wanted to apologize to you about that day. I spoke to you badly. It's okay. I met many strange people. You're nothing, Mai said, as if trying not to be too serious. There's probably no one as weird as your ex, Tal added in a monotone. Mai turned abruptly to look at him. We have to stop talking about this now. I told you that I have reported. No need to worry. How can I not be worried? If I don't bring you out today, something is definitely going to happen tonight. Tal continued. I think Tals stressed that he accidentally said information that Mai didn't seem to understand. What do you mean? Mai asked. It means that you're going to get dragged by heart and do something. I hurriedly got into the middle because I saw that the two of them were going to have a long fight. Handing out the phone to them to see the screen, the other hand extends to massage Tall's neck to reduce his hot-headed. This restaurant has a promotion for free salmon sashimi. Shall we go? Mai and Tall said nothing else. I turned to talk to Tall. Calm down. Please talk to your boyfriend to say something that makes sense. Mai folded her arms. Tall and I turned around to look at Mai at the same time. I quickly grabbed his face and turned to look at the road. You know, I shouted. My sister is a children's wards nurse. She told me that Tall had news with the emergency room doctor. There's no one other than you. Mai looked at Tall angrily. I'm mad at you that you didn't tell me about it. You didn't tell me who your ex-boyfriend was either. Tall argued back without giving up. You guys, I know you are hungry, so think about sashimi. I don't know what to do anymore. No wonder why Tol and I had a fight from the very first day of dating. Finally, Tol and I stopped fighting, which made me let out a sigh of relief. Finally, we sat at one of the grilled buffet restaurants in the department store peacefully. While walking from the car park to the restaurant, Mai always walks a distance from me and Tol. She pretends to walk and look at things, but I know she was observing how Tol and I were reacting. The most I did to Tol was just lighting and touching his back to walk with me. I held the glass of punched water and placed it on the table for the only lady. As for Tol, I let him serve himself. I sat next to Tall, who put the meat on the grill. "Mai, you can order some vegetables. I'll eat too." "No need for me." Tall was so focused on grilling the meat. "Kids who don't eat vegetables will lack vitamins, osteoporosis to decay." I leaned my head next to Tall's ear, following with his elbow hitting my flank, which hurt a little bit. Mai looked at me without any blink. "May I ask, how did you two become lovers?" I turned to look at Tall, who seemed like he didn't care about her question. I guess he left the answer to me, right? "Well, Tal and I've known each other since we were young, and we had a chance to meet each other again. First, I couldn't remember him, but once I knew that he was a kid I had a feeling for, I tried to flirt with him." Tal seemed to be too focused on the meat. I smiled slightly. "We went through many incidents together. There are times when it's like proof that we were made for each other. Can't lose anyone." Saul suffocated from smoke for a little. He turned to me and quickly closed his eyes to look at the grill. "Dane," Saul said quietly. "I know it's hard because Saul's a man and I'm a man, and neither of us has had any experience of loving a man before." I turned to smile at Nong Mai. "But I'm sure that I'll be able to give him something that he has never received from anyone before. That's true love." Tol may have been in a relationship that didn't last long until Nong Mai had to worry about Tol's image, but now you don't have to worry. "Well, actually, I'm more worried now." My frown. "Tol always dates women. If it were revealed that now he's dating a man, this would be a big deal." "We've talked to Peten that I won't care. I can do whatever I want." Tol took the cooked meat and put it on my plate. "And you don't have to worry about me. Worry about yourself first." Tol is someone who doesn't really care about anyone's mood. He had told me that he would only care about what he wanted to, and I think it's true. Now he's more interested in heart than in how he feels. I'm not surprised that he couldn't be in a long relationship. I quickly interrupted. "Nong Mai, I'm going to the bathroom for a moment." "Huh?" Saul let out his voice in shock as I grabbed his hand and dragged him out of his seat. As I walked out of to the front of the restaurant, Saul asked in a waking tone, "What's the problem?" I didn't answer. Instead, I dragged him to the toilet nearby. I intend to bring him to talk in a quiet place where people were not crowded. But as he walked in, he saw five men standing near the sink. So I pushed him inside the empty room and squeezed myself inside as well and locked the door. I raised both my hands and slapped his cheeks. A loud sound made him startled. He looked up at me with a shocked expression. "Tol, I know you want me to be safe, but we can't make my go back first, okay? Keep up the atmosphere. First, I might be able to help, but if it's too much, maybe mine won't tolerate your sarcastic words." Tol was quiet for a while before looking down as if he had realized what he had done. "Sorry, I'm not mad at you. Even though you're like this, I can accept it. But I ask for one thing. Can you be careful of my feelings just for today? Let it pass tonight. There are only a few hours left. Can you do it for me?" Saul nodded slightly. I let go of my hand from his cheek when I saw he looked calmer. Although he's a bit hot-tempered, at least Tall is a kid who is easy to teach and understands things quickly. "Okay, let's go back then." I opened the door and walked out with Tall, passing the toilet users, who were looking at us with strange eyes. I know it's weird for two men to go to the same toilet room, but we did nothing in public. I just dragged him to calm himself down. I walked back to the restaurant where now the queues are already crowded. I returned to my table and found that Mai's seat had become empty. I looked around the restaurant in case Mai was just walking to get something, but I didn't find her. Doll, who was following me, cursed quietly and went to ask the waitress who stood in front of the restaurant. I followed him to hear the answer. The young girl just left just now. She told me that someone would come back to eat later. The waitress answered in a pleasant tone, but the meaning of it gave me goosebumps all over my body. I and Doll turned to look at each other. I knew that Doll also feels the same as me. Call her! Call! I shouted out. Shit, you idiot. Then, there were 3 hours left. I let Nong Mai go. End of loop 11. My treat.